Hello and welcome to the Progress Report. I'm your host, SoCal Val, and this is your much needed dose of all things progress for you, our loyal fans right here in the UK, and of course to everyone watching worldwide. Now, we are officially on the road to Super Strong Style 16, which is an unmissable 3-day tournament taking place on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, live from the infamous Electric Ballroom in Camden. And here to discuss this event is one of our very talented participants, Warren Banks.
Hi.
Yay! Hello, hello. How are we feeling today?
I'm good. I'm okay. Yourself?
I'm very well. We are so excited for our upcoming events. But tell us, Warren, how you're feeling, mentally and physically going into the opportunity that is Super Strong Style 16. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. Mentally, I feel like I've always come close, always done well in these tournaments, but it's always been just like that little bit short. I'm not gonna lie, it's something that has kind of gotten into my head a little bit, but I feel like if there was ever a time to break the curse, it would be now. It would be Super Strong Style 16.
Yeah.
Physically, it's I don't want to advertise weak spots, but I have suffered an impinged nerve in my neck, so I'm getting a lot of weakness and pain down the right side of the upper half of my body. I'm trying to treat that as best I can with, like massages and gentle exercise and stuff. So
Sure.
got a few weeks to go. I'm hoping I can be 100% and do what I gotta do.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a huge opportunity. I mean, big deal doesn't even cut it because you could be walking away from this thing as the new Progress Wrestling World Champion. That's got to kind of get in your head. So I have to ask you, how do you deal with nerves? How do you deal with an opportunity that's this big of a deal? Because a lot of aspiring wrestlers write us on Twitter and Instagram, and they talk about how, that's one of the problems they have. It's a huge audience. And this is not only a huge audience and a very rowdy audience, given that it is the infamous Electric Ballroom, which is so much fun, but also, just the idea that this is something that could really change and catapult your career. How do you deal with that?
I try not to think about it as kind of cliche as it may sound. It's sort of like I'm someone who I used to do a lot of like track and field. I used to play rugby. I'm someone who's used to being under pressure, and then pressure has kind of become normal. Mm-hmm. So how do I deal with it? I guess I don't. I just carry on. But then, some could argue that maybe why I've not been able to get over the line, maybe I'm not taking it seriously enough, or I'm not able to kick into that next gear because of not seeing it as anything different. But when you say the world champion, I'm thinking, yeah, that world champion, like the whole thing, yeah. Not just the ocean, not just the land, not just the sky, all of it. Like, so, yeah. I guess maybe I should start thinking about it.
Yeah, but it's a lot. And so everyone has their different ways of like dealing with it. You can compartmentalize it and go like, I'd rather not freak myself out or psych myself up. So everyone has their own different ways of dealing with it, which is why I wanted to ask. But going forward into the tournament, I mean, how have you been upping your training regime, or do you have any strategies? I know a lot of wrestlers tend to sort of figure out who their opponents are and then do all of the research, a little bit of light stalking, if they will. What's a typical hype up for you in the weeks leading up to an event like this? And even on the day of, like what kind of hypes you up?
So usually I'll spend my evenings, I'll be snacking. I'll have like any sort of streaming service open with who I may be facing. I'm looking at their matches. I'm trying to see what they do, any mistakes I can capitalize on, any bad habits they've got. So that's usually what I do with Super Strong Style 16. We've had both like a lot of time to prepare and not a lot. We've known it's coming, but we've not known who's in it. So the people announced so far, there's a few that, I know very well. We've got my buddy Gene Money, and then we've got Kid Lycos. But yeah, yeah, usually it's like homework, lots of tape study, making notes. Now you say on the day of, usually I'll find like a quiet spot and I'll just sit and stare at a spot on the floor of the wall. And that's when I kind of get into the zone and I'm able to kind of go, here's how I'm going to pick this guy apart. Here's what I'm going to do. So as soon as I find out who it is in round one, it's tape study and staring at a wall.
I love that. I love this sort of savagery of I'm going to watch their tapes and stalk them, video wise, and kind of prey on their weaknesses. It's brilliant. Love it. Love that. We have to ask about social media. We're talking about watching tapes and keeping an eye on your opponents, as it were. You're very active on your social media accounts at Man Like Banks. Give them a follow. But everyone has different, little cheap plug there. Everyone has different views on social media. You know, I think in this day and age, I think it's rather necessary to have social media and to promote yourself and become your own brand and that kind of thing. What are your views on it? Do you think it's crucial to have in this business, or is it helpful or harmful?
I feel like a lot of things to be generalize. I can't use the word to generalize. A lot of things in with a lack of moderation can be harmful, either too much or too little. As you said, in this day and age, social media, I'm active. I could be more active. Something I want to work on going forward. But yeah, I feel like as a wrestler, as a performer, if you're not taking advantage of the massive shop window that is social media, it's going to take a lot harder work than it may do otherwise for you to kind of get to the places you want to be. I would say to kind of wrestlers starting out, please be active and responsible on your social media. But there are people who are getting bookings and matches based on sort of highlight reels or gifs of them doing something super cool. And just because it may not be super cool to you because you do it every match, someone else may not have seen it before and it'll blow their mind. So if it were up to me, I personally won't have any social media. I'm kind of like a bit of a loner, except for the 8-7 boys. But I recognize that it's needed in this day and age. So if you're not taking advantage of it, you're doing yourself a disservice, quite frankly.
Yeah, and there's so many things to consider, you know, like engaging with fans and you know, merchandise and things like that kind of do need a little bit of pushing. I've never heard it described as a massive shop window. I think that's very, very cool. And speaking of a shop window, people have been peering into your shop window on social media because we have compiled a little list of questions from Warren Banks fans. If you are so kind to allow me to give you some of those, how about that?
Oh, go for it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, the first one is from Jessa. This was via Instagram. Her question is actually quite a thinker. I like it. She is asking, who inspires you in wrestling or worldwide?
Who inspires me in wrestling or worldwide? Worldwide, it would be my mum. I know it may be like a cliche answer again, but she works so hard. I've never seen somebody just keep pushing. Over the years, she's been an amazing example for me to follow. She never gives up, no matter how tired she is, or she has like a bad back, no matter how bad her back is. She'll never ask for help, but she'll complain no one's helped her, like all mums do. But yeah, my mum's my hero. So worldwide, it'll be my mum. And then in wrestling, it'll be a list of people. If I had to pick one, it would be AJ Styles. AJ Styles is the reason I am a wrestler. Like I watched him versus Kurt Angle in I think it was a Texas death match. And that match made me look up places to train. So even though I don't wrestle anything like him because we're built differently and stuff like that, if there was an inspiration for me actually starting this whole thing, it'll be AJ Styles. So yeah, AJ.
Good choice. Selfishly, that's one of my favorites as well.
Cool. You got good taste. You got good taste. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
And what an amazing dude, even just professionally and personally, to look up to, because he's just, you know, as you've probably been described him all the time, he's just an amazing human being and just so amazing in the ring and so talented. Great one. Ken Z on Twitter, who is from London. By the way, Ken, when I saw that you were from London, I wanted to remind you, June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Camden's in London, so you better be there, Ken. We're going to look for you, Ken Z. He asked, Warren, what UK wrestler or US import would you like to see make a Progress Wrestling debut? Good question.
UK wrestler or US import. I'll start with home soil. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to say the guy whose t-shirt I'm wearing, the Top Gun, Tommy Kyle. He is my training partner. Like we train one-on-one and have done for years now. He is also a coach, and above all that, a supremely talented professional wrestler. There's nothing he cannot do. He's too humble to say it, so I'll gas him up here.
You'll do it
Tommy
for him.
Tommy Kyle. If there's anyone who should be stepping foot in the Progress ring, it's that guy. Tommy Kyle, hands down. Honorable mention as well to CJ Carter, who is also a good friend of mine, and again a very good professional wrestler. And then internationally, the US specific. I I really like the look and style of Jacob Fatu. I feel like me and him could have a banger. I'm being selfish here. I don't want it for their careers. I just want to have a good match with these guys.
Yeah.
So Jacob Fatu.
You're the
sure.
booker in this fantasy scenario. You can do what you want, man.
Me and him will be locked in a program for the next 3 months where we produce nothing but 5-star matches. Jacob Fatu. Hammerstone is another dude who I think has like got a cool look and does cool things. I'd like to square up with him because it'd be interesting to be probably smaller than somebody for once. And then I think last but by no means least, it would be AJ Gray. Again, another one that's just purely selfish, but I've seen the way the guy carries himself in the ring. I've seen the stuff that he does, and it's just no nonsense, smash mouth. And I respect that and I rate that. And I feel like a match between me and him will tear the roof off. So if he ever comes across this, AJ, you are very welcome. Borders are open. Let's do it.
Ooh. That sounds like a challenge. We love an exclusive here on the Progress Report. And I also want to say thank you to the fans that wrote, because I feel like they really put a lot of thought into their questions, which I appreciate. And this next one is a lot of fun. And that's why I saved the best for last, because we did mention how big of a deal it would be to become the Progress Wrestling World Champion and what that could mean for your career. So Mark from Buckingham, who actually wrote twice on Instagram about this, he says, me and my missus can't wait for this Super Strong Style tournament. And he's asking you personally, if you won, how would you celebrate? And they want to know if they can come too.
How would I celebrate? Oh, man.
After party? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would just be get the cardboard out and start breakdancing like there, right then and there. Like, how would I celebrate? I would call my mum and tell her what happened. And then it would probably just be hug everyone that's there that I know and love, and then get changed, go get some food. I know there's Camden, there's going to be places to eat and drink. So eat, drink, and be merry until we regret it all at like 6:30 the next morning. That'll be how I celebrate. Which and they are more than welcome to come as well.
Yay, perfect. Well, I hope that celebration does take place. But before I let you go, just personally, after party aside, what would it mean to become the Progress Wrestling World Champion? I mean, for your career, for you personally, what do you think would change for you and your career?
It would be validation. When I first started this, I remember people told me all about progress and stuff like that. And I almost wrote it off as if it would never be possible for me to get here. I just figured like my path would be different maybe, but I'm here, and every time I thought I couldn't, I have. So to win that world championship would be validation. It would be, I'm trying to think of the right word. It'll be redemption. I've come painfully close to success, but I've never actually been able to grab it with both hands. Some of that due to my own shortcomings, and some of that due to some crappy little wolves we won't mention.
Right.
But
let's mention them. Why not? It's the Progress Report. Go ahead. You can name names if you want. Okay,
cool. So Kid Like Us and Kid Like Us 2 are people I've known for years, people I thought were my friends for years. A little known fact to peek behind the curtain, it was Kid Like Us who put my name forward to Progress for like the taping, the Peckham era, as we call it. I wouldn't be here if not for him. And I feel as though he can't get past the fact I'm not his mate who needs help anymore. I feel like he can't get over the fact that I've grown and I'm stronger and better and smarter than I was when I joined. And I think he can't accept the fact that I just might be better than he is. And he just wants to keep me at this level that he thinks I'm at. That's why he keeps interfering in my business. That's why he keeps jumping me. And I almost feel sorry for him, almost. But he robbed me of that world championship at the 10th anniversary, and I'm never going to forgive him for that. And we still need to settle that. And if it doesn't happen soon, it won't be in a ring. That's all I can say.
Wow. Unfinished business. Very interesting. Well, Warren Banks, we wish you the best of luck in this amazing tournament. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, thank you for tuning in. But before we go, we want to hear from all of you on social media. So use that hashtag SSS16 to join the discussion on social media. We will be watching. And for Progress Wrestling, I'm SoCal Val. Thanks for tuning into the Progress Report. We will see you in Camden for Super Strong Style 16. Don't miss it.